tonight an amazing topic that we all need, and we definitely need it right now. With the price of everything increasing more and more, and inflation, we just got the inflation report today that inflation has increased even more. So, yes, we really do need this topic. So, thank you all for joining, and I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. I need my glasses so I can see. So, we are here tonight because the numbers reflect that people are having a hard time paying their bills as far as their credit is concerned. So I thought, you know what? Let me let me give them some help and some information about how to improve your credit in 30 days. You can improve your credit dramatically in 30 days. But there are certain rules that apply and guidelines that apply for you to even start that process. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. I have my paper over here, so I will be reading what I have listed that's going to help you. If you put the work in, you will get something out. That's 100%. 100%. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. So tonight's topic is about credit. The From what I've read, when it comes to debt, it's it's through the roof. The numbers are through the roof, and people are not, their credit is suffering as a result of whatever might be going on financially with them. So let's jump right into this. Welcome, everyone. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. As usual, thank you all for coming back. Thank you all for joining. So, if you're looking to raise your credit score, if you're looking to improve your credit, if it's a little shaky, a little rocky right now, and you're like, it's a new year, I want to get back on track. I missed some payments, and that tank because one missed payment will you will lose like 100 points. You could, depending on what it is. So, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you to give you some key pointers, however you want to take it, to help you improve your credit history or your credit overall. Because if you got bad credit, they not gonna give you nothing. And if you do get something that you apply for and they do approve you, you gonna pay like double for it. So I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you. So I said, I'm gonna change some things up. I'm gonna help educate myself and others on this credit thing. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you're looking to boost your credit score and improve your financial health in 30 days, you can do this in 30 days by following this plan that I have. Then if you're ready to put the work in, if you're ready to get started and you are here now, that means you come to the right place for assistance, okay? So the first thing that you need to do, if you have not done this, get a copy of your credit report. Get a copy of your credit report because if you never get a copy of your credit report, because you might say, well, I don't need my credit report because I'm not buying anything. I'm not buying anything, so I don't need a copy. You do need a copy. You need a copy because when you go to purchase something and they pull your credit and they deny you and you're like, wait a minute, why you deny me? I pay my bills on time. There's no need for you to deny me, saying that my credit score is a 500, and it said, um, and it's like, why is that? I don't understand. I pay my bills on time, and then when they start to tell you, oh well, you had a missed payment on this, missed payment on that, you're like, I don't even have that. So people can get access to your information, and you will have no idea that they got credit cards in your name. I, people have even bought a car in people's name from their credit, and the person had no idea about any of it because they'll get the mail sent to a whole different address. And if you don't regularly have your credit pulled for something that you might purchase, then you won't know until when you need your credit to be pulled. So it's very important that you get a copy of your credit report. I'm going to show you all where you can get a copy for free. All three reports: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion for free. So I'll pull that up in a moment when I get to that section. I'll pull it up and I'll show you. So the first thing you need to do is get a copy of your credit report, and I'll show you the places as I go through my list. And so the first thing, get your credit file. And the purpose of your credit file, the reason why the companies pull your credit is because they want to see if you're a good candidate for whatever it is that their money, because it all boils down to their money. If you're a good candidate for their money and how you manage your credit, how you manage what you already have, how you pay your bills. So of course they're gonna do anytime you apply for anything, they're gonna pull your credit. If you go to the car dealership, they're gonna run your credit so many times. They gonna run your credit. They don't tell you that, but when you start getting all them letters in the mail saying that your credit was pulled at Toyota, it was pulled at Southeast Toyota Finance, it was pulled here, you was pulled there. You like, I didn't tell them to pull my credit like that. I told them pull. They said they were gonna run my credit. They ain't gonna say they didn't say they were gonna run through my credit. And so so that's why they get one. So it said, and your credit report, it has 5 things on it. So it said your credit report includes stuff such as your payment history, your current balance, credit inquiries, and more. So when you apply for a loan or a credit card, whatever you might apply for, that's what a credit inquiry is. They're inquiring if they should give you their money. And if it come back that they're not giving you their money because you don't pay your bills, then you got a credit inquiry on your credit file. And credit inquiries, they'll pull your score down about 2 points, and they stay on your credit file for 2 years. Credit inquiries do. So that's why they'll tell you don't just keep applying for credit, applying for credit, applying for credit, because those credit inquiries, they'll add up. Because if you go apply at Macy's, then you'll go apply for a major credit card. So those add up, and then you're building a credit file of credit inquiries, and you've been getting denied. So try to avoid that. Try to avoid that if you can. So your credit file includes your payment history, current balance, credit inquiries, and more. So there are 5 factors that determine your credit score, and the 5 components are your payment history. That's what's going to tell them how you pay your bills. Can they trust you with giving you their money? That's the largest score on your credit report. It's 35%. It accounts for 35%. So make sure that you pay your bills on time. If you don't pay your bills on time, it hurts you. So do everything you can to pay your bills on time, because when you really need something, you won't, 9 times out of 10, especially in this environment we're in now, they not gonna give it to you. And if they do, they're gonna charge you so much to get it. It's gonna be like double. So, and we work too hard for our money to just give it away. So we don't want to do that. So we want to make sure that we're paying our bills on time. On time. And I do know things do come up. I get that. But that's don't overload yourself with that either. Don't overload yourself with that. Get what you can afford to pay. And just because they offer you a credit card or credit cards, that don't mean you take them. Take what you can, you comfortably can't afford to pay each month because things come up. You might get laid off. You might get sick and you can't work. So you don't want to get over heels in debt with credit cards. So the next thing that's part of your credit file is credit utilization, and that's 30% of your score. So payment history is 35, and credit utilization is 30%. So those two things are very, very important for you to make sure that you keep that under wraps. And the credit utilization is if they give you a loan, I mean, if they give you just say a credit card for $1,000 credit limit, well, just because they approved you for $1,000 credit limit, that don't mean you charge the whole $1,000 up. So you want to keep your balance 30% of what your credit limit is, because when your balance is, so if your limit is $1,000 and say you say, dang, they gave me $1,000, I'm gonna go ahead and charge this up, I'm gonna have a good time on this card. Well, that's gonna hurt your credit because your debt your utilization is high. So you want to keep your utilization at 30% or lower. Really, if you charge, pay that bill off the next month if you're able to. So that's where it comes into, if you can't pay your credit card off the next month, the whatever the balance is, try not to charge it to where you can't pay it off the next month. Because think about this, if you charge your credit card and you're not able to pay the balance off next month, you're giving the credit card companies your hard-earned money. That's what we don't think about. That if we charge whatever it might be, and when my bill due next month, March, I don't have the money to pay. If I charge $800, well, I don't have $800 to pay. So that means they're gonna make money off of me from that $800. So they're gonna get my minimum payment because I'm gonna pay them their minimum payment. And then so they're making money off me on the minimum payment. Then they making money off me because I wasn't able to pay the $800 off. So they're they're making double money off me. And then next month, the following month, if I can't pay whatever the balance is off, that's more money. So we don't think about all the money that we're giving to the credit card people or the loan people, whoever it might be. So just keep that in mind. Then the third thing is your credit history length. That's 15%. And what that is, that's how long you've had your credit cards. Say like if you open up a card in college, and of course you didn't graduate college, you didn't, you older now, but you kept that card. So the length of that card might be 15 years or whatever. So the length is good. That's 15%. So, and even if you don't use a card, they always recommend that you don't close the card, because by closing the card, they that can affect you as well. So they say just keep, even if you don't charge the card, but I recommend if you're going to keep the card, charge something on the card, because what a lot of credit card companies will do, if you don't use the card, they'll close the account. Certain ones will close the account. And another thing credit card companies will do, they randomly check your credit. And if I mean, you got all these bills, and if they see like your debt to ratio is like, it's steady climbing, they'll lower your limit, your credit limit. So you might have had a limit of $5,000. Well, they check your credit randomly and they see, wow, they really, been charging and been, got a new car and whatever, got loans. They'll lower your credit limit. If your limit is 5,000, they'll put your limit right up under. They'll put your limit, say like $4,800. They will decrease your limit, and even if you're paying it on time every month, they will still decrease your limit if they check your credit and they see that you are getting more debt, because now they scared that you have all this debt, you might not pay them. They looking out for their best interest, which you can't blame the companies for doing that because they don't know if you're gonna pay them because you owe a lot of people now. So just be mindful of that as well. So then the fourth one is the type of credit that you use. That's 10%. So you might have credit cards, loans, car loan. I mean, like a personal loan, car loan. You might have a mortgage payment and different things. So the types that you use, they call it like a mix of different credit. So that's 10% of your credit file. And then new credit is 10%. And in the beginning, when you get new credit, it'll kind of pull your score down as well because having new credit because they don't know what you're going to do with that new credit. And it kind of it'll take your score down not that much, but it could. And once they see that you're paying and everything, then you'll see your score gradually go back up. So just remember, your payment history is 35%, your credit utilization is 30%, your credit history, the length of the time you've had credit, that is 15%, and the types of credits that you use, that's 10%, and then new credit is 10%, and all of that adds up to 100%. Now, if you do all of it, make sure you pay it on time, you keep that credit utilization 30% or lower, and you have a mix of credit, you know, you do the right thing, you'll be okay. Pay these people because your credit gonna be messed up, and we need to have some credit around here. We need credit around here. So yeah, and so focus on doing the right thing. That's what's important. Focus on doing the right thing, and before long, you'll like, dang, my score done went up. Dang, all I did was, even if you behind, that's what people don't understand. Even if you behind, say like you missed some payments and you done got your payments caught up, keep making payments, your regular payments on time. And even though your credit took a hit, but you start making those payments on time, keep that credit utilization down, your credit will increase so fast. It will increase so fast. You'll be like, dang, I just had a 502. Now, dang, you mean to tell me I'm at a 550? So keep in mind, y'all, don't get overloaded with debt because when you get overloaded with debt and you got to make a choice, am I going to buy grocery? I'm going to pay these credit cards. 9 times out of 10, you going to be like, I'm not paying them. And it's not that people don't want to pay them, but sometimes it be between I need to buy some food or do I pay the credit card? And you can't use the credit cards to buy food, so you can pay them because you've been using the credit cards to buy grocery. Buy grocery and probably pay your bills. What bills would take credit cards and stuff. So just be mindful when you're getting credit or when you have credit that you pay on time. Pay on time. So you do not mess your credit up because let me tell you something about credit. It is important. It's so important to have good credit. When you are in need, you see how important good credit is. And that's why I tell people don't get so over heels in debt to where it comes between am I going to buy groceries or am I going to pay these credit cards? Don't put yourself in that situation. Don't put yourself in that situation to where you got to make a choice. You're going to make a choice to buy food. You would think, and because once your credit is bad, I promise you, they 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 send you that letter. I know I've been there before. That's why I'm stressing to pay your bills. Don't get all these credit cards because I don't know about now if they give you cards like they used to, but I know back in the day, they just, oh, you fill out, you approve, you fill out, you approve. But you're not thinking that, what if it come between paying my light bill or paying these credit card minimum payments. Well, I gotta pay my light bill, you know. So just be mindful of that. So so now we're about to get to the credit report. So let me show y'all where you can go to get a free copy of your credit report. And it's free, and during COVID, they had it to where you could get your credit report. I think it was once a week, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I see they still have it as once a week where you can check your credit. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna flip the phone, and that way, hold on, let me clean the phone off. Baby, sorry y'all, the bag was dirty. So this where you go to. Let me put it up here in this screen. So it's annual credit report. Hold on, I'm gonna click it out. So you go to annualcreditreport.com. Let me, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna put the stand up here. Hold on. I gotta get my board. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure y'all can see. Uh-oh, sorry, y'all. Okay, so this is the site here. Hold on, I think maybe I had done took the, I had done took the, okay. Sorry, y'all. I think we good now. Okay, so you go to annualcreditreport.com. It might look kind of crooked, y'all. I don't know, but okay. So you go to annualcreditreport.com, and here it says free weekly online credit reports are available from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Credit reports play an important role in your financial life, and we encourage you to regularly check your credit history. Remember I told y'all that how important it is? So request your free credit reports. So this is the site that you want. It needs to look like this, so that way you'll know you on the correct page right here. And it'll say annualcreditreport.com. So I'm gonna go over here and put this in so that way y'all will see which one. Cause make sure y'all checking. So I'm gonna go right here. It's the first one right here, y'all. And then this is it here. It's going to be the first one. It's going to say annualcreditreport.com homepage. And you click on it, and then it's going to look. This is it. So make sure it look just like this. Okay? And there is free. You don't have to pay for anything. It's still once a week you can get it, but you don't have to pay for anything. And these are the three here: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And it says free credit reports. Let me put it close so y'all can see. Free credit reports. Federal law allows you to get a free copy of your credit report every 12 months from each credit reporting company. Ensure that the information on all of your credit reports is correct and up to date. But right here, it still say that you can get one like they did during COVID. So request your free credit report. Click on it. And then right here, so fill out a form and request your report. Click here. And then you'll fill out, oh wait, you know what? Let me go back so I can show y'all something. Okay, so you can click on whichever one you want first, right here. So if you want TransUnion first, Equifax, whichever one you want, you just click on it. Not over here, but I think you're over here. Let's see. I ain't requested no credit report. Oh, that's right. I ain't requested no credit report in years. So you fill this form out here, put everything here, and it's just your name and, you know, the regular stuff, your social and all that. Then you'll click next. And then when you go next, now you're going to have to answer some questions like, to make sure it's you. They're going to say, hold on, y'all. Let me take the phone out. Oh, sorry. So they're going to ask you some questions when you get to the screen. They're gonna say, to the second screen to verify that you are the right person. They're gonna ask you some questions like, did you live at 102 Blue Color Street? Uh, do you have a loan with loan financing? Like stuff, questions like that. That only if you are the right person, only you would know. So it's like four questions, I think. So you should know. If you're the person, then you should know. And so that's how you get your credit report. And you get one, they are free. You get one from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Now, if you go to Experian.com, you can sign up and you can get a free report from there. They update, I think they update every I don't think they update often that on Experian. I think they do it like every few days or maybe once a week or something on Experian. But definitely get y'all free credit report. Definitely get that. And so let's see where I'm at. And hold on. Okay. I think I lost my my form I was looking at. But that's okay. I had my stuff written out and I lost it. I think I X'd out of it. But it's okay. But hold on, let me see. Oh no, I got it here. Okay, I got it here. So I can keep track of where I'm at. Okay. So when you get your credit report, make sure you go line by line by line. And the first part of the credit report is going to be your information, your name, your address, jobs you worked at, things like that. If you never pulled your credit before, pull your credit. Pull your credit because you always want to check your credit reports to make sure that is for one that is accurate. For two, no one's using your credit. That no one's using your credit because you might not need your credit right now, but who's to say your air conditioner won't break and you need to get a whole new unit and we know they're very expensive and you need to go down there to the bank and get a loan to pay for the unit. And then you thinking, oh, well, I ain't, I'll be good because I haven't gotten anything. I haven't, made any bills. And then you go there and they tell you, no, your score is 470. And you know that your score was like 750 the last time you checked. So you want to make sure that you get a credit report as often as they allow you to get it. Because people out here, they out here messing with people credit. Yeah. So yeah, look over there, make sure. So you want to look for things like inaccurate late payments, like I said, accounts that don't belong to you, or outdated information. And if you find anything on your credit report that say like that the stuff is your stuff, but the balance is not correct, it should have been removed off your credit. 7 years has passed if it had been delinquent. If whatever you see that it should not be, then you need to do a dispute. You need to file a dispute, and you can go back into annualcreditreport.com and click on whichever credit file that you saw it on, and you can do a dispute online under whatever, if it was TransUnion, Equifax, or whatever. Now, all three reports don't always have the same information. Like you will have, say, like if you was delinquent on something, Equifax might be reporting that you were delinquent on Bank of America credit card, but TransUnion and Experian, they're not reporting that you were delinquent. So all three might not have all the same information. But if you see something that you know is not correct, you need to file a dispute, and then it'll give you a drop down box, and it'll ask you whatever the questions are. They'll give you the options to say, not my account, uh, whatever they might be. So you'll know. Um, so yeah, you'll know. So check y'all credit. It's free. It's free, free, free. Get your credit report so you will know where you stand with your credit to make sure you are in good standing and no one is using your credit. And you want to make sure of that. So dispute any inaccuracies because any inaccuracies will hurt your credit score and you not even know it. You not even know it. So that way you can immediately improve your credit score by disputing whatever might not be correct on them. Now, paying off past due accounts, like I said, if you know that you've been past due on something, go ahead and pay them off. Go ahead and pay them off because you need to pay them people their money, okay? You need to pay them. You need to pay them. So yeah, go ahead and pay off what you owe. And what you can do, so it says if you have any accounts that are behind, focus on getting those current. And because when you get those current, that's going to help your score. It's going to help your score. You're going to still have late pay, 30-day missed payment or 60-day. Now, if your account go to 120 days, it's going to charge off. It charges off after 120 days. And if you're late 30 days, uh, so you get a 30-day late if you don't make your payment. Let me explain how the late payments work. So say for example, today is February 12th, I think. February 12th, where my payment was due today, February 12th, let's say for Capital One. Well, I didn't make my payment today because I didn't have the money to make my payment. So that means it was due today on the 12th. Now, it's due today, but you have until your closing statement date to make that payment. And you'll get a late fee. You will get a late fee, but it won't count against you as a missed payment as long as you make that payment within your statement closing date. Um, I thought I had a bill around here. Let me see. I think I got a bill around here to where it says yeah, I have this bill right here. So if you look on your statements, it'll say it will have statement closing date and whatever, it's gonna be the same date every month. I'm trying to see what mine is on here. Um, so my payment was due on the 4th. So my payment was due on the 4th, and I don't see my statement closing date. It's here, but I'm looking for it, and that's why I can't find it. Okay, it's the 9th. So my payment was due on February the 4th. My statement closing date is February 9th. Now, even though, say if I didn't make my payment on February 4th and I made it on February the 9th, then I got a late fee, but I'm still good. I won't have a missed payment on my counted as a missed payment because as long as you make your payment within your statement closing date, you're good. So just say for example, and if you don't know what your statement closing date is, look on your bill. Look on your bill and it'll say statement closing date. Um Mine's somewhere, y'all. I'm looking for it and I don't see, but it's on here. It's the 9th because I see it right up there. But look on your statement closing date, and that way you'll say, dang, I don't have the money to pay it on the 4th, but I know as long as I get it in by the 9th, then as long as I get the payment in by the 9th, I won't, I'll be good. Now, say if you don't make that February payment by the closing date, February 9th, and then so now you got a payment due for February and March. So you get your statement, they're gonna say you owe February and March payment. So you owe $50 for 25 for February. Now you owe 25 for March. So when March come, you owe $50 February, March. So just say you still don't have the money to pay for $50 to get current. Well, as long as you make that payment where you're not 30 days late, then you won't have a past due on your credit. You won't have a ding as a late on your credit. But you have got to make sure, even if you can't pay February, March, you can pay February. If your due date is the 4th, then you need to make that February payment in March. I would make it on like the 3rd instead of the 4th, because you're going to be 30 days. So make it about the 3rd or the day before, whatever your due date might be. Now, if you fool around and let it go 30 days, you're gonna have a late. But you got, and a lot of people don't know that you you don't have to be 30 days late. But you got to know that you don't have to be 30 days late. That you can pay, even though your February, March, pay February in March. Now, you're going to still be behind the payment so you can try to get caught up, but you won't be 30 days late. As long as you make that February payment, you can make it March the 3rd. You won't be 30 days late. So just keep that in mind to try to help you from being late and messing your credit up. Because if you are, if your credit is already decent and you have one 30-day late, that's going that it's going to eat your score up. It's going to eat it up, and you don't want that. So try your best to make your payments on time. If you can't make your payment on the due date, the 4th, well, find out what your statement closing date is and make that payment by that date. Normally, it's like 5 to 6 days after your due date. And you can pay it on that statement closing date. It won't count against you. You're going to have a late fee. But if you get a late fee, in the event you do get a late fee, call the credit card company or loan people, whoever you have that bill with. Call them and ask them if they can waive the late fee that you receive. Now, they're not going to keep waiving the late fee. Just know that. But they will waive it. I know they'll waive it once, but they ain't going to keep waiving it. So don't make it a habit of being late. But it is it's easy to have good credit, but it's not easy to have good credit when things come up and you're not prepared for the unexpected when it comes to money. So try to be prepared for the what ifs, and if the what ifs don't never come, then you good, regardless. So let's see what else we got. So yeah, just keep in contact with your creditors. Just keep in contact with them and let them know that you're paying, you're trying to pay, and if they could work with you. Always call your creditors and just see, because you never know, they might have what is called, not a forbearance. They might have forbearance. A lot of companies offer that, or where they'll hold your payments and give you like 2 months to where you don't have to pay. They might have that available. But if you don't call the people that you owe and inquire about, I'm having a hard time, how can you all help me? Then hardship. Yeah, hardship. Or they got another one. I can't think of the name. I got memory block right now. But call your creditors. They have so many options, but people be afraid to call the people that they owe, and they just say, "Well, I'm not gonna worry about. It. I'm not gonna worry about it." And then now you got bad credit, and that you don't want bad credit. That stay one though. If you get one 30-day late, it stays on your credit for 7 years. You don't want that. You do not want no 7 years of a 30-day late on your credit. Call the people, see what options that they have available for you, because they have them. But if you don't call, then you're not going to know what all they have, you know? So make sure you all are calling your creditors and asking, telling them what your situation is. Deferment. That's what I was thinking about, deferment. And a lot of companies, they offer, I know if you have a car payment, the car, whomever you finance with, normally, depending upon who you finance with, they'll defer your payment. Like you could call and say, I'm not going to be able to make this month's payment. They'll defer your payment and put it to the end. And like they'll do so many, you might need maybe 2 months to be deferred. And you can ask them, whatever their criteria is, and they'll put the payments to the end of the loan. So by then you should be able to get yourself together. But call your creditors. Don't be talking about you scared. No, be scared of bad credit and you can't get nothing. Be scared of that, because that's worse than you not being scared to call your creditors. So call your creditors. They have stuff available for you. And so, yeah, you might be able, like I was saying, to negotiate a payment plan, or they'll make an adjustment. Like they'll say, well, we can go ahead and make an adjustment just this one time. And they'll do that, if you miss the payment. They might do it, make an adjustment if you miss a payment. You don't know unless you call. So you have to call and see what is available for you. And so now let's talk about credit utilization. Remember, that was 30%. Payments is 35%. Now we're on credit utilization. That's 30%. And this is a huge factor in your credit score, and it's super simple. Super simple to improve. If you are maxing out your credit cards every month, that's getting reported to the credit bureau, Equifax, TransUnion, uh, Experian. So if the creditors see that you're constantly maxing out your cards, then when you go and need a set of tires and you don't have the money and you at Discount Tire and they ask you, do you want to apply for a credit card to get these tires because you really don't have the money, and you say yeah, and they come back denied because every time you get a card you run it up to the max, and they're like, no, your credit worthiness is out the door. You max up everything you get. So this is a huge factor in your credit score, as I've already said, and it's simple to improve. Just like I just said, credit utilization is a ratio of your current balances to your total credit limit. The lower your utilization is, the better it is. So don't be maxing it up now. Don't max it up. So a good rule of thumb is to keep your utilization before 30%. I mean, under 30%, like I said earlier. When I was telling y'all that it's 30%, that's a lot. That is a lot. So if you're currently above that, try to pay it down. I know right now everybody trying to pull money from everywhere. You're using the card, but try to come up with a plan or something to where you don't have to keep every month being at your maxing out your cards. So hopefully things will start looking up for you, start working out for you some kind of way, and it'll work out for you. Okay. So another thing you can do to help improve your credit, you can become an authorized user on someone account or accounts that have good credit already. Now, people ain't, they might not do it. They might be like, well, why you can't get your own credit? And you say, I had a little rough patch or whatever, and I need some help. I'm trying to build my credit back up, and people might not be too keen on doing that, only because you know people judge you based upon your own actions, and they might say, yeah, I might, you know, have you as an authorized user, and all they have to do is call the credit card company and say, yeah, I would like to put Joe Blow on my American Express, and they'll, Joe Blow name, and then they'll ask a couple more questions, and they'll send Joe Blow a card, and then if Joe Blow will be using the card, and he can't pay it off next month. Now this gonna hurt the person that tried to help him out and put him as an authorized user. So now that's gonna mess up their credit too, because now you done ran it up, and that credit utilization is going to come into play. So people are a little iffy with that. Some people might give you a chance or opportunity, but that's another good way to try to, you know, build your credit. Definitely to build your credit if someone is willing to help you out. So, yeah, all right, just don't use it. But sometimes people, sometimes people be people, and we all know people will people. In we know that, but hopefully people won't misuse people, kind take people kindness for weakness when they're trying to help them out, because um, everybody need help sometime, but just don't overuse it, don't overdo it. So yeah. So, but just make sure also that whomever that might let you be an authorized user on their card, make sure that the company that they are dealing with reports authorized users to the credit bureau, because it'll be a waste of time if they don't report authorized users to the credit bureau, because that's what you want. You need them to report that you're an authorized user on Sally Sue uh, credit. So just make sure of that if someone's kind enough to let you do that. So let's see. Another thing you can do is to set up automatic bill payment. That way you won't forget. Because sometimes you be busy and you forget that a bill is due and you're like, oh man, I forgot that bill was due. Because I've done that. Or I've paid the bill twice. And I'd be like, oh, I didn't even know I paid that bill twice. That's a good way. Just set up automatic payments if you're able to, and that way the money can just come out, and you won't have to worry about forgetting to pay it. You won't have to worry about getting possible late fee. You won't have to worry about it going late, being 30 days late possibly, and you just won't have to. It just take the worry out when you do something different. Because remember, payment history is 35% of your credit file. So, and even one missed payment can hurt your score. So we need to be proactive if we want to maintain our good credit, or if we're trying to build our credit, we want to make sure that we're paying on time. We're doing everything in our power that we can do. And credit inquiries. If you know that your credit is already bad, don't be riding in them people's stores trying to apply for no credit cards. Don't be online trying to apply for credit cards with Capital One and Discover and all them. Leave them credit card applications alone if you already know that your credit is not good, because it's hurting you by applying with those credit inquiries, because they stay on your credit for 2 years. And when you go to apply for something, they'll say, wow, they're applying for a whole lot of credit. And that's like a red flag. Like, wait, why they applying for all this credit? Especially if you're doing back to back, back to back, back to back. And they're like, oh no, So it throws a red flag off. So you want to make sure that you don't do that. Plus, it stay on for 2 years, and it takes your score down like 2 points um, when you do that. So instead, just focus on trying to not overextend yourself with debt. Do your best to pay your bills on time. Make sure that you learn what is your closing date, and whatever your closing date is, if you can't pay it on the due date, whatever your closing date is, if you could pay it by your closing date, that way you got that payment. Normally it's five, 6 days, but call your credit card companies or even your loan company and find out what is your closing statement date. And that way you'll know, and you'll be able to say, well, I couldn't pay it on the 4th. Well, I know I got to the 9th, but then you don't want to keep getting late fees either, because you giving the companies money. You don't want to give them your money. No. They already make a whole lot of money. So you don't want to give them your money. You want to, um, as much as possible, keep as much of your money as you can by not getting late fees, by paying your credit cards off every month, by keeping your balance low. So there are so many ways that you can have more money in your pocket and less in the credit card company's pocket. So we're gonna do a quick like instead focus on managing the credit you already have. Don't try to make any more credit now. Manage what you got, get that stuff paid down and paid out. Don't add nothing else to it. I don't care what they offering you. Do not add anything else to it, okay? Work on what you got. Don't apply for nothing to get those hard inquiries on your credit. And so they said that the hard inquiries, they have the biggest impact in the first 6 months. So you don't want to get that. And I think I was going to tell y'all about that. The difference between hard inquiries and soft inquiries. So hard inquiries is when you apply for something. That's a hard inquiry. So like I was saying, it'll temporarily lower your credit score, and it occurs when you apply for something, and it needs your permission. You're giving permission for them to pull your credit. That's what a hard inquiry is, and it remains for 2 years, like I said. Now, soft inquiry is, you know how you get solicitations? Well, they've checked your credit already, so that won't affect your credit because they've checked your credit to be able to give you that offering to say you've been pre-approved for MasterCard with whomever. And but a soft inquiry could occur for any number of reasons, but it will not affect your credit score at all. So you would rather a soft inquiry than a hard inquiry, which you applying for all the stuff you know you're not gonna get because you already had paid. So don't be applying for hard for any credit cards. Okay, so don't do that. So it says, what is a hard inquiry? What is a hard credit inquiry? Applying for a new credit card, like I said, each credit card application will likely result in a hard inquiry. So each credit card that I've seen, it's a hard inquiry on your credit, and it affects your score. So you want to be able to um, not have that. Purchasing or leasing a car, same thing. Now the car dealerships, they are notorious. They will run your credit. You will have they'll run your credit about to 10, 12 different places. A whole, I mean, you'll get a whole. So you're like, why did they run my credit like this? So be mindful of the best thing to do when you're trying to buy a car. Go to your credit union and let them approve you versus trying to go to the car dealership because and buying a house when the mortgage people, same thing. Uh, Applying for a personal loan or a student loan, same thing. So they stay on there for 6 years. I mean, for 7 years. No, 2 years. I'm sorry. I was thinking about something else. So, yeah, so that's that as far as the how to increase your credit. Increasing your credit score, increasing your credit, maintaining good credit. Because I'm telling you, if you got bad credit in this day and time, they're not gonna give you nothing. Don't try to apply. Don't try to apply. They're not gonna give you nothing. So that's what I have. That's all I have for how to get your credit right. That's all I got for tonight. And I will start doing more credit lives because people have been asking me to do credit. So I will be doing more credit topics, maybe twice a week, because the way things going, people they need to know about credit. So Um, you said, what does it mean when your score is blank? Your score shouldn't be blank. It shouldn't be blank. Is it blank on all of them? Mm-hmm. Right. It's so much. When I tell you having good credit is top tier, whew, top tier. It is. People don't realize how important having good credit is until you need something. That's why I say pay your bills on time. Don't overextend yourself, and just try to make that payment to where it's not 30 days late. Try not to make a 30-day late payment. So, but yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yep. So, but that's all I got for the topic on here as far as credit. Like I said, I'm gonna start doing more credit stuff because people been asking me to do it, and plus it needs to be done. All right, y'all. Thank y'all. Have a good night. Good night. Thank y'all.